Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you have been here before, please subscribe if you haven't yet already. That would make me very happy. Hit the like button if you like this, that would also make me very happy. And hit the little bell if you want to get an alert every time I upload new content. That would also make me very happy. Today I'm starting a series and it is about cult beauty products, and it is coinciding with a new season of American Horror Story, which is about cults. It's called American Horror Story Cult. I'm recording this before the first episode premieres, obviously, because I'm posting this the day of the premiere. And my plan is to post a video the morning of every premiere. So it's on Tuesday. So every Tuesday morning that there's going to be an episode happening at night. And it'll be a video of me getting ready using kind of cult classic beauty products as much as possible. Sometimes, you know, with certain things I won't be able to, with brushes a lot. And I'll also be reusing a lot of things, but as much as I can, I'll try to do a unique product in every category, eyeshadows and concealers and whatever, as much as I possibly can every week, just to give myself an excuse and a reason to use some cult beauty products and to talk about American Horror Story. So there will be spoilers. This episode has spoilers for the last few seasons, not huge spoilers, but I do talk about it. And I will be talking about last week's episode the morning of every Tuesday, the morning of every new one. So spoiler alert, if you don't want any spoilers, it'll be full of spoilers, I think. And I don't know yet, I haven't seen the first one, but that's what I'm thinking. I'll let you know at the beginning of the next episode. So if you'd like to see how I got this look using some cult classic beauty products, and if you'd also like just a little chatty get ready with me as I'm chatting about some of the things that happened in the last few seasons of American Horror Story, keep watching. All right, so all I've gone in so far to do is I've used my L'Oreal setting spray to kind of lay down a base. And I'll first go in with my NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. And translucent. I don't use this often because it's translucent, and I prefer something typically that's going to give me some kind of a color beneath it, white or my own pale skin tone. But the whole point of this is using cult products when I can. And while I'm letting that dry down a little bit, I'll go in with my Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. It's interesting to think about the things that make something a cult product. I think a lot of it has to do with obviously YouTube and marketing and things like that. But it's really interesting when things get that kind of a status. And they generally do because I think most of the time, if something gets a cult status for the short term, sometimes it's just because it's getting kind of good marketing. But all of the products that I'll be using for most of this series will be things that have had cult status for a while. The one exception being possibly Tarte Shape Tape, but I think that's going to be around for a long time. These are not named, so I'll just kind of walk you through. I'll show you the ones that I'm using. I'll first go in with the one that is right next to the white. It's very near my natural skin tone, and I'm going in. I don't really have many cult brushes. I'll be using one. It's not really a cult brush, but it's a cult brand. Yes, I'm gonna go in and just put this over the eye primer to set that down a little bit. And then I'll start going in with more color. I am really excited for this new season. It's apparently supposed to be the first season with nothing supernatural in it. It's just supposed to be kind of the American Horror Story of people, which is a horror unto itself, I suppose. And looks like it's going to be really interesting. It's certainly starting earlier. I feel like it used to start in October, and now it's starting in September. Go in with a Sephora Pro Crease brush, kind of big. And I'll go in with the color just to the end of that, which is kind of a little bit darker. And this is a fluffy brush, so I'm gonna blow this out just a little bit. So what are your favorite seasons? I think that my favorite season, I have favorite seasons for different reasons. I think House, I'm gonna go in with a denser brush. This is a Morphe E17. And I'm gonna go in with that warm burnt orange kind of color. The House season has a really special place in my heart because it was the first. But I think House is number 1. I think Asylum probably is number 2, although it's so dark and just so much going on. But I do love it. And then I'm going to go in with the Deep Chocolate Brown. And this is a small Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush. I liked parts of Freak Show. I didn't like the singing. That was a little bit distracting. I really liked the Sarah Paulson character, the Dot and what was the other sister's name? I'll put it on the screen, and if it comes to me later I'll say it out loud, but I'll definitely put it on the screen. Dot and, that's annoying. It's totally annoying when you know something and you just can't get it to come to you. What I usually try to do when that happens is not think about it. I'm still thinking about it. Go back in with the Sephora crease brush and just blow that out a little bit more on top. Brought it up a little bit higher than I meant to. Dot and, I feel like it's one syllable. Okay, I'm gonna try to forget about it. Yeah, she was amazing. And I liked a lot of that season. It was just the musical that was kind of hard. To go back in with that burnt kind of orange color and just put a little more back in there. So I did like it a lot. I loved Hotel. Very soft place in my heart for Hotel because of all of the classic Hollywood stuff. I definitely have an affinity for classic Hollywood. This is a ColourPop brush. This is the pink one. They don't sell this anymore. This came out a few months ago. They sell the white ones now. I'm not sure. There's no number on this, but it's kind of just a shadow brush, a fluffy shadow brush. And I'm using the kind of white color on my lid. Yes, Hotel. So Hotel I loved because, well, for a lot of reasons, but I really loved it because of all of the old Hollywood. I know that before it was released, before it was produced, before it was actually done, and I'm going to go in a little bit on my inner corner with Steal a Kitten, and I'm using a Real Techniques detailer brush. There was a rumor that Hotel was going to be about this real hotel called the Garden of Allah, which was a real hotel. It is, I guess this is what a chatty get ready with me is, right? I'm chatting and getting ready, and maybe you're getting ready with me. So you may already know this, but Garden of Allah, I'm now going to go in with Kat Von D Trooper tattoo liner. The initial rumors were about this thing called the Garden of Allah, and that was a real hotel. There was an actress, a Russian actress named Alla Nazimova, who I think that she bought just a lot of property in Hollywood, maybe Beverly Hills, and she was a silent actress. She was Russian, and her accent apparently was really thick. I may be getting part of the story wrong, and she couldn't really make it as a talkie star. There's one talkie that she's in. It's a movie with Shirley Temple as a like a tween, kind of a little bit older. I'll put that in the screen. I'll put it in the screen up here so you know what it is. And if I can find a link to it, I'll put a link in the description box down below. But it's hard to find movies with her that, certainly talkies with her. But she was this just amazing actress. And she ended up, I think, converting a lot of her property. Again, I'm doing all this from memory. I hope I'm not butchering the story, but converted into Bioderma, cult product. Converted it into a hotel, Garden of Allah. And there were these cottages that everybody stayed in. And I think that's where F. Scott Fitzgerald died. I know that he had a cottage there with Sheila Graham. the woman that he was with after Zelda got hospitalized. And so there was a rumor, oh, and also too in the Joni Mitchell song, Big Yellow Taxi, you don't know what you got till it's gone, they paved paradise and put up a parking lot. I think the rumor is that it's about that. There was a Great Western Bank, I think, that was built on it. And there's the Great Western parking lot is there, and it became Washington Mutual and then maybe Chase. And I don't know if it's still there, but there used to be a model of the Garden of Allah in the bank. And seeing Sparkle. Buffing you away, Mr. Sparkle. Yeah, I'm fun at parties. I am good to have on your quiz bowl team, that's for sure. But yeah, so there were rumors that the hotel season was going to be about the Garden of Allah and bring in some classic Hollywood crimes and mysteries and urban legends and things. So I was especially excited the night, it's one episode, where we learn how the Countess got turned. Boy, it is hard to do a wing and think about something. I'm actually thinking about like an old episode. It's a brain teaser is what it is. So the episode that we learn who turned Elizabeth, who turned the Countess, who turned Lady Gaga. That is when they, I'm just getting so obscure here. I hope you're still there. Hello. I'm sorry. But I really want to do this and I don't have that many subscribers, and I think that it's good for me to do something that's challenging me to do something on a weekly basis and gives me a theme, and so I'm just going to keep going. When she gets a phone call from Rudolph Valentino, and I forget if it's Paula Negri or Gina Acker, they were both married to or involved with Rudolph Valentino at some point. When she gets a phone call from them, it's coming from the Garden of Allah. Now I'm going to use Tarte Shape Tape in light under my eyes and under my nose. My allergies are bad. I hope that's not disgusting, but my allergies are bad and my nose is getting kind of red and a little on my chin. And the foundation I'm going to be using today is going to be the Hourglass. I'm just going to use my Hourglass brush, which I don't think is something that I could consider to be a cult product at this point, but I think the concealer, the foundation is. I don't think the brush is, but I love the brush a lot. So yeah, so I was really excited when that night, when the phone call comes in and it's coming from the Garden of Allah, and they're calling from the Garden of Allah. It's just so exciting. And not as much classic Hollywood as I would have liked. The Feuds series, I'm not sure if you watched that, took care of a lot of my Hollywood stuff. That was amazing if you haven't seen it. Joan Crawford and Bette Davis, and wow. The fact that that was even made is just warms my heart, because this is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder for Under Eyes. And this is the cult product I'm going to use. I've never used this on screen before. This was a birthday gift from my husband. It's a Hakuhodo brush. It's very sweet. So I'm just gonna put a little under my eyes. Not baking, just putting that on there. And I was saying, yeah, I got my true Hollywood, my Hollywood scandal fix from Feuds, but it was still really good. I really appreciated it. And I'm amazed in this day and age, because we just don't have so much history. We don't have that much history in the US. And makes me really happy when parts of history that matter to me are finding their ways into popular culture. And I don't know, like I feel like when that episode of American Horror Story with the reference to the Garden of Allah with Rudolph Valentino, and I'm gonna look it up too to see if it was Paula Negri or Gina Acker, I forget which one it was, but when that aired, it kind of felt like they were writing it for me. I know there are people out there who watch classic film, and I know there's probably some crossover of people who watch classic film who watch American Horror Story, but not enough to support how much it costs to produce a television show like that. And I was just shocked that it even got produced. I was just very, very impressed and loved the fact that it got produced. All right, Anastasia Brow Wiz in dark brown. Actually, I'll give myself a little brush first. But yeah, if there was anybody out there who thought, I know there probably were a couple people who were as blown away as I was, who felt like it was actually made for me. But I hope that there were people who watched it who thought, oh my gosh, this is interesting. I'm going to do some research and figure out what it is that they're talking about. How cool would that be? So I also, what else did I like about that? It got a little bit violent. It got really violent actually. The bed stuff was too much, but I still loved it. And I also appreciated the history of the fact that they had on, I think it was on Halloween or was it on All Souls Day, when all the murderers showed up in the hotel. So the hotel that took place in, one of the inspirations was a hotel called the Hotel Cecil, which is a real hotel. And there were a couple of murderers that stayed there. Weird things happen there. It's also the hotel where that Canadian woman was found on the premises. I'm not going to get too graphic about that, but her name is Annie. I'm not going to get too intense about that, but yeah, a lot has happened in that hotel. And it's opened again, but it's under a different name. I forget what it's called, but it was called the Hotel Cecil. So I appreciate Benefit Boy Brow in brown when they pull in actual history. I'm trying to think about other seasons where that might have been true. Roanoke, obviously. Some real history, some not real history. But yeah, we're a young country, and I really appreciate any time that there's a reason for people to possibly do some research and learn something interesting about something historical that maybe they didn't know about before. I really, really like that. And I feel like American Horror Story does do that sometimes, which is really good. This is Milani Luminoso, and I'm using a stippling brush, ColourPop stippling brush. Such a pretty blush. Yeah, so definitely House was my favorite. I did love, and I loved Coven. I loved, oh, that had a lot of good history too. I mean, obviously a lot of it wasn't, you know, based on facts, but a lot of really good history in that season too. I'm specifically thinking about Marie Laveau and Madame Lalaurie. I'm using my Guerlain Meteorites, and I'm using a It Cosmetic. I think this is one of the It for Ulta brushes, just a fan brush. It smells so nice. It smells like violets. This is the only one that I have. I don't have any of the seasonal ones or any of the other ones. I mean, I really do not go through this quickly, but it's a luxury to have as an option. Tarte contour brush and Kevin Aucoin sculpting powder in light. Yeah, the Delphine Lalaurie and the Marie Laveau stuff was really, am I doing a little bit too ham there? Blend, blend, blend. A little too heavy-handed, but that's okay. This is the Kevin Aucoin eyelash curler, eyeshadow curler, eyelash curler. I guess there's been historical stuff in all, the Black Dahlia in the first season, Too Faced Better Than Sex, which I think now is a cult classic. And my general mascara routine is to start with Better Than Sex and then to go in with Roller Lash. Yeah, the Black Dahlia was in season 1. Was there anybody else? Real, just trying to think of real historical figures. And was there anybody in season 2 in Asylum that was a real historical figure? Still trying to think of the names of the twins from Freak Show. Dot and Bet. Dot and Bet. Oh my God, I feel so much better. I knew that the second name was one syllable, but I also thought that it wasn't 3 letters. I was right on both counts. Oh my God. That is a relief. I feel so much better. It's ridiculous, but I do. I don't know if there was anybody in Asylum that was based on someone actually real. I'm probably forgetting someone. Coven, Delphine Lalaurie, and Marie Laveau. Back in with some tattoo liner just to cover up the place that sometimes when I use an eyelash curler, a little bit lifts up onto the curler. So I'm just covering this up. And NARS Translucent Crystal. And I'm using this giant IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Jumbo Powder Brush. Not a cult product, but I don't think I wouldn't include that, but I just wanted to use it because it's fabulous and it feels good. Lips, I'm using my little itty bitty last part of a stubby Urban Decay 69 pencil. And for lips, I'm gonna go classic, cult classic with MAC Ruby Woo, which is probably the first high-end makeup product I ever purchased. And nothing is quite the color of Ruby Woo. So yes, I am very excited for the new season of American Horror Story. I will see you again next week with a bit of a recap of the first episode and another look featuring cult classic beauty products when I can. Sometimes I'll be reusing other ones and sometimes I won't be using, especially with brushes, won't be using as much kind of cult classic products. But yeah, as much as I can, I'll do that. And thank you so much for watching. A lot to do in the world, a lot to do on YouTube, and I really appreciate that you took some time to spend with me. Take care and I'll see you soon. Bye.